Well, that's a bummer, but I will say, at least we won the second half. But with that said, here's the review. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and yesterday, whenever you're watching this, the 5-2 Kansas Jayhawks headed down to Waco, Texas to take on the Baylor Bears. And although the first half looked ugly, the Kansas Jayhawks tried to mount a comeback, but fell short by a final score of 35-23. Yeah, this game could have been ugly, and thank goodness our offense picked it up when we needed it to and made the game relatively close. But with the loss, KU now falls to 5-3 overall and 2-3 in conference play. Dang, that's really weird because I'm so used to KU being below 500 in conference play, and now we finally hit it. I'll take it. So even though the result turned out to be negative, there were some good things that came out of it. So with that being said, for those of you who do not know, I give positives and negatives about the game. I give a player of the game and a player who needs to improve. So without further ado, let's do it. So let's start with the positives. And the biggest positive on the offensive side of the ball is that KU actually out-threw Baylor. I know the Bears love to throw. They got an air raid type offense, but the wind was a factor in Waco, and surprisingly, KU out-threw them. In total for the game, the Jayhawks threw for 232 yards, while the Bears were held to 164 passing yards. So, yeah, our pass defense did pretty stinking well. We also averaged more yards per play, as KU had 5.9 yards per play, while the Bears had 5.3, so I guess you can count that as well. But also, third down efficiency was really key in this game, as KU actually did pretty well. 6 of 11 on third down, so above 50%. I'll take it. Now, on the defensive side, the Jayhawks did their job in terms of turnovers, because KU won the turnover battle, as Baylor had 3 turnovers while the Jayhawks only had 2. And it was by the same person, so if you count that out, it was 3-0. So, yeah, good job forcing turnovers. Now, with all the positives out of the way, let's get to the negatives, and yeah, there's a lot of them, because the run game was in favor of Baylor the entire day. Baylor outgained KU on the ground 273 to 56 rushing yards, which Kansas hasn't been below 100 all season until this game. So in retrospect, Baylor's rush defense is KU's kryptonite. Add that to the 164 that they have, and Baylor outgained KU 437 to 288 in terms of total yards. And then going back to the defense, we couldn't stop them on third or fourth down, as the Bears went 9 of 16 on third down and 3 for 4 on fourth, which is ridiculous. Penalties were another factor, as KU had 5 for 31, while the Bears had 3 for 30. I mean, I wish we could get them down, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But the big negative that I have is total plays and time of possession, because Baylor had more plays than KU, 83 to 49, and the time of possession, Baylor held onto the ball for 40 minutes of this game. 2/3 of the game, Baylor had the ball. That's bad when your defense stays on the field for 40 minutes. Ay, ay, ay. Now, we do have a bye next week, so hopefully all that can get fixed and prepare us for the final 4 games of the season. But yeah, that's bad. So those are the negatives. Player of the game. Now, for me, this one's pretty obvious because he played really well, and that's Jason Bean. What a day. Bean threw 16 to 27 for 232 yards and a touchdown. Also, no interceptions, which is a huge bonus. And yeah, his lone passing touchdown, I should say, really set the tone in the second half for KU to try and mount a comeback. And yeah, it was a really cool catch as well. So here's the play. Not only that, Jason Bean also did it with his legs, as he had 8 carries for 25 yards and a rushing touchdown. And that one really got the game cooking, as KU cut the lead down to 5 with his touchdown. So here's that one. I mean, all the other guys really had some cool resumes for themselves in this one. I mean, Quentin Skinner, 4 catches, 66 yards and a touchdown. Lawrence Arnold, 3 catches for 53. Trevor Wilson, 2 catches for 52. But in all fairness, this has to go to Jason Bean. So yeah, Jay Bean is my player of the game. Now, player who needs to improve. I honestly could give it to Quentin Skinner, because he had both fumbles in this game, but honestly, the touchdown kind of crosses him off and gives him immunity. So with that said, I'm going to give the player who needs to improve to Tanaka Scott. And he really didn't see much action. Scott finished with 1 catch for 3 yards, and that's it. I mean, the fact that he's the 4th guy on the depth chart and still gets more playing time, he needs to find his way to get open, and I don't understand how that's not happening. And yeah, that's a struggle. So yeah, not much to say. So my player who needs to improve is Tanaka Scott. Now, before I end this video, I got to give a huge shout out to Jeremy Robinson on the defensive side, because he almost took a strip sack to the house, and I think it really needs to be recognized on this review. So without further ado, here is that play in full. The props to Jeremy for almost taking to the house, but yeah, great play. But yeah, that's going to do it for my review of KU versus Baylor. Again, the final score, Baylor 35, Kansas 23. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Push that notification bell. Tell your friends about these videos. And I should see you again for the next KU football review, as the Hawks return home to take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.